7:30 in the morning and we're on an adventure. So instead of taking a taxi, I'm deciding to just go and take the metro and walk. It's a couple of different metros I have to take, different lines, which will be interesting. And I like the movement in the morning. I like to walk. So I had a very short walk with Princessa this morning. It's like 5-10 minutes. Usually we do a whole 30. And so I'm gonna go. I'm excited. I have everything ready. I've even brought my tripod and everything. I think I've got everything. I brought like 6 or 7 different pairs of socks because obviously doing all the scans, you have to take off your shoes, and I don't want my shoes to get bad. Putting on and off your feet. So I'm gonna wash and make sure that my feet are nice and clean every single time. And I'm so excited. I didn't get much sleep last night, but I feel so energized, and I think it's just the adrenaline. This is really cool. So the scan takes place within the university, and this was scheduled at least a week before. There are 3 different scans within the room. So there's this in-body on the left-hand side, then there's a 15,000 euro in-body on the left-hand side of the scan, and then this is the giant scan where I will be laying down. So I first needed to lay down for 10 minutes so that my blood could regulate before we even started the scan. And then the scan itself took about 20 minutes. Then we did bone density, which measured the density within my back in the spinal discs, and then the femur itself. I could not stop asking questions, and I found out how contraception has affected my own bone density, as well as the comparison between athletes with extreme sports and normal people. After the scan, we went into depth about all the variables that were tested and all the results and how accurate they are, how we could improve them, and then also my diet and training style and how it has impacted my results. I'm just leaving the university. This is such a cool place. Like, I can't wait to come here again, but that was like the most amazing experience. I went in thinking, you know how you go into something thinking that you know everything you've prepared, but my mind has been blown in a way that I can't even explain. There's so many questions. I have so many more questions. There's so much that I didn't even consider. And I love the quote, and I remember when I first started getting into training, personal training and nutrition, and it says, the more you learn, the more you find out you don't know. The more you learn, the more you're like, I don't know anything. And that's how I feel today. I just feel like there were so many things that I thought I knew, and it's amazing. Now it's time to test all the body scans at my own private club. There are 8 clubs, so now let's go to them. Stop smiling. I keep smiling. I can't stop. It's gonna be one of those days. It is raining, full on, and I'm so far away from my first gym. So we are going first to Plaza España, and we're gonna do Las Arenas, which is the coolest gym in the world because it is a gym at the very top of a super comercial, not a grocery store. I keep thinking in Spanish. A giant mall. It's like one of those American malls, but like malls aren't really popular here in Barcelona. There are 2 that I can really think of, 3 actually. And this giant one in Plaza España is where I think it's got the best views of all of Barcelona and all of the gyms. It's got a perfect 360 view of this plaza. It's a beautiful plaza looking over a fountain and a castle, and kind of like where the Olympics took place. I'm excited to go because I've only gone a couple times, and they have a really beautiful swimming pool that overlooks everything. But we're not going to be there for a spa. We're just going to go take the measurements, and then I'll show you around. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm very hungry, but it smells like fouet. It smells like somebody has that giant meat stick I absolutely love. And I've never had these cravings, and I don't know if it's because I'm super excited and I just had like the most eventful morning ever, and I've not eaten and I've not had anything to drink, and I just kind of, I don't know. It's strange. I'm sure that as soon as I get to the gym, I won't be thinking of food because I'll be so focused on everything else. But it's funny how I'm just walking and I want to talk to you and just like update you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I really want to eat. But it's not, it is kind of hunger. A little bit is hunger, I'm not gonna lie. Here we're arriving at the castle. It's called Manak. It's an art gallery. So right here, this is where we're headed. This is a centro comercial, it's a mall. And at the very top where you see the little red, right there-ish, is where the track is to run outside. It's beautiful. Also, can we take a moment for like Tibidabo right there? That is so pretty. And so when we go up, this is where the gym is. It's all the way upstairs. So let's go. And it's really cool because you have the cinema and all kinds of cafes and shopping malls. And then right up here where you start to see the Metropolitan, that's where we're going. So it is the club. Now for privacy reasons, I have to be careful how I film and that I don't film anybody in particular. I do have to ask for permission from the club. So when I go into every single club, I do ask if I may film before I film. Now I want you to notice the scale that I'm using. This is a new scale from Techno Gym. It's a company that develops different equipment for gyms. And honestly, I won't tell you the results at the moment, but I did see a lot of difference between the InBody and the Techno Gym technology.
Esto es asunto. 90.
Mejorado. Perfecto.
Hace falta vídeo.
Hola, estamos en Metropolitan Arenas con Alex. Me acabo de medir. Son las... ¿Qué hora es?
Son las 11:41.
Y vamos a la próxima.
Mucha suerte.
Every club at Metropolitan has something special, and this is definitely the most special part about Arenas, the 360 track that goes all around, so you can see all of Barcelona from a height that's incredible. Now, I wasn't able to film the entire gym, but it's just spacious, a lot of light, and I love coming here more for the spa and luxury and the breath of fresh air. And now we're off to a couple others. This was the first one yet. So last night I packed a giant bag of socks. We're talking like 7 or 8 pairs of socks so that I could switch them out and my shoes would still be nice, because if you've ever done where you like take off your shoes and then you put the same socks into the same shoes again, and it doesn't turn out nice. And I'm gonna do this 8 times at least. So I had my socks. I forgot the bag in the DEXA at the university. So I guess, you know, I prepped, I tried, and apparently we're just gonna be using the same exact socks throughout the entire day. So it'll be interesting. Off to Galileo. Let's go. If you're not in the airport, you don't have luggage, and you can walk, then you should always take the stairs. Notice how this scan is very different from the previous one. So this is the InBody that all of the other Metropolitan gyms had, and now they're switching to Techno Gym. This gave a very different reading, and I will show you this in another video, but first we're just trying them. If you do any body scans, I do encourage you to make note of the style, the equipment, and then ask questions too, because it does matter.
Hola, soy Martín, estamos en Metropolitan Galileo y son las 12:15.
So Galileo is my absolute favorite in terms of working and then feeling like I'm at a playground. It is huge and beautiful. They've got a huge crossmat section where I love to do weightlifting, and then they also have squash. I think this is squash. I've never played, but I've been told I should. And then incredible classes such as boxing. They recently renewed the entire gym, so this is fresh new equipment, and the ambience when you're in a class, phenomenal. And then of course, the equipment, which you can connect with your bracelet. Galileo is in my top 3, and it just feels like a jungle gym. Honestly, I feel blessed to go to this club because I'm able to work and focus on my business, and then I'm able to play and go and enjoy the movement that I do in a very clean space. Not only that, but the people in that space, especially after the second gym. I was like, I'm in the right gym. Like, this just feels good. So I'm in the taxi. I'm gonna go to Gran Via Metropolitan. I've just gone to Arenas, and that stat was actually very similar, very close to the one for DEXA. And then I just went to Galileo. They have different machines. So the one in Arenas has the Techno Gym, which is a different kind of scale. And then the one in Galileo has the InBody, which is a technology that we saw when we were with Kim in the DEXA Center. So based on everything, these two stats, very, very different results. And this was in less than an hour. Like, I tried very hard to get there on time and not have too much time in between. I am fasted. I've not had anything to eat or drink. I'm hungry and I'm very thirsty, but that's okay. And I'm gonna go to Gran Via. We're gonna do the stats there. And so far, it's been an amazing experience. And every trainer has something to say and add, and we end up talking a little bit more about what the DEXA is or what the scans mean, and then what their perspective is, which I really, really enjoy, because everybody has a different perspective and it's going to be open-minded. And even more so, what was it? Oh, the carbs. So Alex was talking about carbs, and we were talking about, like, carb loading, and the fact that my weight from one day to the next and then the very next day went up and then down, and it was like 2 kilos difference. Obviously that's not fat, and obviously that's not muscle. That has to be water, and it is all about the carbs. So I carb loaded this weekend. I had a bunch of bread and tortillas and rice, and now this week I've been a little bit more consistent with my carbs. So I've been eating a little bit less than 150 grams of carbs every day, and it's noticeable. I feel a little tired. Carbs are your body's main source of energy, so don't skip on carbs and don't make them your enemy. If you have to create a calorie deficit, make sure that as a woman, and this is as a woman, you have above 45 grams of fat, above 100 grams of carbs, so between 100 to 150 minimum. And then protein, it should be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but obviously if you're only eating 40 grams and going from 40 to 120 is going to be drastic. So stick with 100 grams to start with, and then if you need more calories, if you need more energy, increase carbs and carbs and proteins first. I'm excited. It's a beautiful day. It turned out actually sunny. I can't wait to show you. So I have so much footage. I'm breaking this video down into multiple parts, and you will get part 2 very soon.